What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is Mark coming back at y'all again. And today what I would like to do is do a vocal analysis video for y'all. And this time it will be on none other than the late Mahalia Jackson. Now, for those of you who don't know who Mahalia Jackson is, she was a well-known, renowned gospel singer that was started her career in the 1920s. All the way up until like a little bit before she passed away, which was in the early 1970s, and she passed away in 72, so she's been gone for over 40 years now. But, even though she's been gone, all this time, her legacy will live on forever because she's one of the greatest gospel singers of all time, if not the greatest gospel singer of all time. And, I've just been studying her voice for the past several months now. And last night I did a little bit more studying on her voice on YouTube and all that stuff. And before I go into this vocal analysis, let me just start off by saying, now some of y'all gonna be looking at me all crazy, and some of y'all may agree with me a little bit and may be on the same page as me. When I talk about her voice type and all that stuff, because what I'm about to say in this vocal analysis, like, it may rub some of y'all the wrong way, and some of y'all just actually might agree with me. I just don't know what the outcome is, but with all that being said, I'm just gonna roll on right into this vocal analysis. Okay, so let me talk about her voice type first. I think that Mahalia Jackson was a lyric mezzo-soprano as a soloist, and if she was in a choir, I would place her as second alto. And let me go into further detail about her voice type, but let me talk about it or elaborate on it. So, a lot of people say that she's a contralto, and even the internet label her as a contralto, and I don't think she's a contralto at all. Although I used to think she was a contralto because I actually had this mindset where females with lower voices were actually contraltos, when that's not always the case all the time. So the reason why I don't think Mahalia is a contralto or was a contralto is because I don't think her voice was androgynous enough to be considered a contralto. And contraltos have androgynous voices that sound pretty masculine for the most part, and people would know if it was a female that's singing up until they start to sing a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying? Like, true, who I would consider to be a true contralto is Nina Simone. That's basically the only true contralto that I actually know in pop music. And the reason why I think excuse me, the reason why I think she's a lyric mezzo instead of a dramatic mezzo is because although Mahalia had a big voice and she had a very powerful voice, I don't think it was powerful enough to the point where I would consider her to be a dramatic mezzo or a dramatic anything for that matter. And that's why. Now see, I wish they had a term called spento mezzo or a spento contralto or anything like that. But since they only have terms like lyric, dramatic, and coloratura for the lower voice types like the mezzos and the contraltos, I had no choice but to label her as a lyric mezzo. And a very powerful lyric mezzo, just to be exact. So, let me just talk about her lows and highs. So, the lowest that I've heard Mahalia sing so far was an E flat 2. And the highest that I've heard her belt was the D5. And I'm going to talk about her technique. And, of course, y'all know I'm not a professional or a vocal coach whatsoever. So, y'all know I don't be getting into technique like that. But I'm going to talk a little bit about her technique and tell y'all from what I think and from what I hear. So, Mahalia had excellent control over her voice. Like, she had excellent tremolo. And for those of you who don't know what tremolo is, um, tremolo is basically a term that when you use vibrato, but you use excessively, and that's what Mahalia Jackson did all throughout her career, was use tremolo and all that stuff. So since she had heavy usage of vibrato, all throughout her career. And also, what I've noticed about Mahalia Jackson was she mostly likes to sing in the upper fourth and the lower fifth octave, since that's the most comfortable for her, or that's her comfort zone. And that's what a lot of mezzos tend to do, is sing in the lower fourth and fifth octave, since that's the area that they're the most comfortable in. And also, another thing I've noticed about Mahalia is that, she mostly um, like to belt on all of her songs, or most of her songs all throughout her career. Like, she rarely used head voice or falsetto, you know. And a lot of gospel singers do that. They will always belt, and they rarely or never use their head voice or their falsetto because they're so accustomed to belting out these songs a lot, or using that power, especially when they're singing gospel music. But that's just the observation of mine. And that's basically all I have to say about Mahalia Jackson. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.